Peace, Malik. Malik, there are no students yet here. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. Oh, it was very good. You know, they just want toys, so they got all the toys, all the OMGs, that dolls that they wanted. So, you know, they even got a boy doll. So now I have to play. Now I have to play with her. You know, I could play with her. So now it's more fun, right? Yeah. Oh, indeed, indeed, indeed. You know, yeah, man. That was definitely, definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, so Malik, you've got me here. Well, let me know. Let me know some updates, some of your good questions, how you see the day's mathematics, everything. That way we can get started. You know what I mean? If we was in the physical classroom, though, I'd be asking the same thing. Hey, Malik, that's everything. That's everything. You know what I mean? I don't even. I'm not even doing anything for any other reason. You know what I mean? Like there's really no motivation. You know what I'm saying? Everything pretty much I do is something that the underlying motive is always those two kids. You know, so that's what it is. Yeah. No. No. So wisdom is righteous movement and knowledge is awareness, thus speaking what you know and moving with purpose. Hmm. Now that purpose is understanding. How does two and the one make three in this? Right? Because you made a statement that is this, right? That would be challenged. You know what I mean? That would be challenged. I don't want to disagree with it. I want to see how you answer to that. Well, the whole concept is this: the whole wisdom knowledge, right? Wisdom knowledge. So the idea that you're acting before you do the knowledge. So it can be used as like a tool of insight. Now, I don't see any mathematics negative, and I see every order of mathematics can be computed positively. So Malik, the challenge is to you for you to do it, not for me to just tell you that I see it positively. You know what I mean? Right? But in this case, you're saying that someone has righteous movement and then knowledge, that awareness. So as a distinct statement, though, then it's difficult. If we isolate the statement, where where no one had the knowledge, like so how does one, it starts out with righteous movement, you know what I mean? Right? Hmm. Righteous. Righteous is based on knowledge. So someone that is righteous has to have knowledge of the principle. So how could that be first? Wisdom. So then now it's not the idea of movement can't happen first, right? But that movement can't be just described as this movement. You have to talk about the origin of the movement. So I think that wisdom knowledge, when you build on wisdom knowledge, the wisdom has to be used in the build as I'm writing this down. That's why I'm saying it this way. The wisdom has to be used in the build as a continuation of experience. So today's mathematics being wisdom knowledge and applied experience, newfound knowledge, and certainly guide can certainly born. Let's be definitive. Can certainly born what I like to call understanding of revelation of purpose. See what I did there? I didn't take. See, people take wisdom like it's starting at wisdom, and it's the only degree that gets taken like that. So it becomes this whole negative thing. So how do we? So instead of just saying like they're stupid, let's build on it correctly. Like let's be even more specific. We could always do that. I have words. We have words to build. We could always make it better. Okay. Does that make sense, Malik? I hope it made sense. Please, God.
Please.
Okay, that's peace, Malik. Okay. Because we could always get into arguments, right? But then if people have put that into dialect, we know that when we build on mathematics, though, that wisdom knowledge is being clamped on. But to be clamped on and say it's negative all the time means that we're looking at everything as a beginning. And I think that's also a limitation put on the way that we build on the day's mathematics. We could always build on the day's mathematics as a continuum. You know, the world doesn't start when we're on the 15th. The world doesn't start when we're on the 10th day. It doesn't start when we're on the 25th day. You know, it doesn't even start when we're on the first day, right? So even if you build on the knowledge day, right? So November 1st, you don't always have to build in the beginning of all things since the dawn of time. Like, you know, things can be in the continuum of things. You know what I mean? These are builds for insight into the plan that you were building, the plan that you were seeing, the insights that you're trying to put together, or, you know, you're putting them together in this format so that they become useful. It's a tool. It's a tool. And as long as the tool is adhered to, you know, it has rules of mathematics, then it's manifested lovely. Right? I said this. These are going to see in videos. Where I've been recorded and stuff. But supreme mathematics is not just what it is, the law and order of the universe, because that exists whether the mathematics exists or not. In other words, the mathematics exist if we didn't know it, if we didn't say it in one is knowledge, if we didn't say two is wisdom, we didn't say three is and so forth. It exists no matter what. So by consciously saying it, which is what the Father did, then he makes it a tool, and it's a pedagogical tool. This is why I don't get so mad. Like if some of the students of mine they keep the build, power refinement, because I had said that refinement is that focus. You know what I'm saying? And I see it that way. But the language of 120 only uses the word refinement as a culturing, so it stays sucking four. So everybody that builds on refinement needs to know that that could be a hindrance with other people that are reading very rigidly. That's an actual fact. It is read rigidly to the text of 120. Now we could argue about that all day. You know what I'm saying? Right? But if you're really trying to build in this nation, like you're really trying to do something, not just waste time or set hadith and all that kind of shit, then you can build on refinement as focus, but you can also build on power without even using the word refinement at all. You know what I'm saying? And you could adapt to the realities. You know what I mean? Depending on who is and when the time is right. And then I'm talking about adult to adult. When we talk to the babies, you teach it everything that you know, because they should be open to getting that understanding. You know? Action of the tool is continuously working right. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. Word is bond, guy. Peace 793rd.
dude, why you blocking my actions, son? Why you blocking my actions, son? Yo, that's my terminal right there. I can't even do my shit, man.
You what?
You blocking my shit, man. Show me your shit. Your shit look. I got a laptop over there, so it don't make a difference. What do you think of this shit here?
You had that last time over
No,
here.
it's new shit. Every
New
time.
shit? Oh, okay. You write it the same way. Didn't you?
Yeah, it's new shit. And it goes according to today's mathematics.
Oh, okay. Knowledge and action, application is wisdom. One could acquire knowledge of self through the observation of the ways and actions of a righteous person. Oh, okay.
This is my favorite one right here. Critical thinking is a hell of a drug. In your Rick James voice, critical thinking is a hell of a drug. They can do some crazy shit.
Yo, in these times, though, it definitely feels that way, man.
Critical thinking is a hell of a drug.
I mean, I'm like...
Well, it's a lost art.
Yo, God, I know...
It's a talking art.
I'm like a newborn again. Because I
am a newborn. This is my name.
Peace, Sunez.
Peace, God.
Peace.
Sunez Allah.
Oh yeah. I changed my my phone. I updated my phone a long time ago. Yeah. You know, you're right.
Shit. I was really giving this some shit, but I should have to get next time.
See,
but I'm still Days on Manuel, and Days on the Law, and Days on Water Law, and Days 21, and Grace Low, and Grace Law, and Banana all the niggas.
Oh my nigga.
All the niggas did. Oh, and added to the family, Sleazy Jesus and Tommy Hawk.
Sleazy Jesus and Tommy Hawk.
Yep. Sleazy Jesus and Tommy Hawk.
Don't forget the one I made for you though. Basically, you know, like Osho. Because you
didn't get it. You didn't get it.
No.
Osho's in my new name. What are you talking about? Day Sunyasin. What is a Sunyasin? The followers of Osho.
Oh shit!
It's included in my name. Day Sunyasin.
Yes.
So I'm not a Sunyasin. I'm Day Sunyasin. So they were followers. So a Sunyasin. I'm saying I am the Sunyasin.
See you guys.
You see it, but listen. I am the Sunyasin.
Yes.
Or Yasin.
Mm-hmm.
You see God, you see me.
Mm-hmm.
Day Sunyasin. And he added the last part. You mind I am. He was like, I man, you saw him. I man, you got. You know that makes sense. I gotta tell him, look.
See, Malik, the terminology, right? Look at the terminology, Malik. You said meaning. Supreme mathematics was always in accordance with us, just the Father gave it a name to help, right? Think of it even differently. It's not in accord with us. It is right. Okay? Somebody describes everything you're doing now, right? And you'd be doing it anyway if they didn't describe it. You see? So that mathematics just is. You know what I'm saying? It's the perspectives. And then also perspectives. When I say mathematics is the law and order of the universe, that describes creation. The what and how does the original man do, that describes us and how we are mathematics, right? So it's all in the perspective, you know what I mean? It's all in the perspective, you know? It feels dark here. Let me put the light. I didn't want to use the light. That's Peace Malik.
No.
That's Peace Malik. Hmm. Action applied to foundation and primary observation. Hmm. You said Yakub being born 20 miles outside the holy city of Mecca and did a show his perspective on the city and what was going on there, or did he have the idea from birth? Now, you know, what I was told by my enlightened knowledge, me, is that the insight to him being born outside the holy city of Mecca is that he has a different insight. That's the whole point. That he has a different insight. So he's seeing things from literally outside the box. You know what I'm saying? And that he's willing to go outside of mathematics to do such. You know? This peace self I build. Fucking work. Peace now, July. Yeah, I'm going 5 to 8. You know what I mean? If I don't, if you look in the bios of each of the class sessions, if I don't get students in the physical classroom by the God hour, then I'm going to travel, and then I will do an extra hour later online about a specific topic. Right now, I don't have students in here, so probably will be. And that helps me because there are a couple of things I have to do anyway, especially today. So, you know, so it'll either be from 5 to 7 or 5 to 8. 5 to 7 is always guaranteed. If there are no students in the physical classroom, then I will leave at 7. And then that extra hour, I give it back just to online about a specific build. You know what I mean? Right. One thing I will say here is that, like, start. If we want to add on to the nation and you all are online, I would love to see some articles about learning, how you're learning online, how are you building. If I'm the one that's teaching you this solely from a distance, whether online, email, voice, Zoom, then write me some pieces though. Share it with the nation. You know what I'm saying? This. I got some columns and stuff, but we don't want it all to be written by me. I'm managing editor. I'm not just the only writer. So we want more people to read, you know? It's right above you. I put the link up here. I put the link up right before your comment. Okay, now to 5% media. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right, so if you don't know what to write, I'm already giving you something to start with. You know what I'm saying? Your experience learning online, whether you're learning with individuals, whether you're learning with individuals in person and also building online or studying online, I want you to get that experience now. Because what's important is that everyone that's learning here, it's not just me that's setting this precedent of how to teach this knowledge truthfully and sincerely and usefully. It is also you, the learners, who are also going to establish, and it's really the students that in this form now, learning the new, that are going to set a standard of excellence at how it goes. You know, I will still be forced to teach like this, or else there won't really be enough students, right? Because, right, I could keep doing this, or I could not do it. It's really all up to everyone. So, I mean, that's crucial. Self I build, you said proper insight into one's thoughts and actions is critical to attaining true sense of self-awareness. Otherwise, that deep, intuitive, and clear comprehension of self that is needed will eventually spiral to misapprehension of self, which produces varying degrees of internal conflict. I don't see anything wrong with the statement. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that insight also is a synonym really for understanding, right? So it doesn't work here. Insight means understanding. That's peace. That's peace, God. You know. So that's peace, God. Peace to the God, Kasim. Major difference. I don't know, because I haven't taught enough classes with both students in the classroom there, but it's just like more people to pay attention to, more. It becomes my responsibility to keep everybody in tune, to be able to answer to everybody. But I don't think I don't really see it that much different. You got to understand that I've been teaching you so long that I've taught through a lot of chaos. I think it's much more difficult to teach in the classroom with people that come in that are of all different type of age groups. That's a more difficult teaching than to teach grown-ups, really, that are on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And anything else, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just balancing, you know. You would see the differences if the classroom was filled and it had students or you know, attendees, because not everybody's a student that comes in. So just to be clear, that's also what I mean by this, of all different ages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear music in the streets, so we're going to see what they're about. You come back then, man.
All right.
Soon forward.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's see. Yes, like visible. I changed my time. I live out in Stanton. So again, if you read the description in the last couple of classes, I teach from 5 to 8. If there are no students in the physical classroom, the class ends at 7 p.m. So it's a 2-hour class guaranteed. That extra hour that I always give, I'm going to give it in a lecture, a straight up lecture anytime. You won't know when it is, so you may not be able to tune in. And I do it before the next class. And it'll be about a specific plus lesson or build or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of my plus lessons or any ideas that I have and stuff like that, or just off the cuff building about specific things that I see. But I make it into a lesson that doesn't need any interaction from anybody. It'll just be put up. Um, all right. So, Kasim, you said pieces of God's on earth. Today's math is wisdom knowledge. Wisdom is knowledge applied. Knowledge is truthful use of information. I see that as the world we live in currently. Many people in society follow trends, religions, traditions that they have no true knowledge in, but walking and talking like they do, or just living on autopilot, not answering questions, not expanding their awareness. They just follow, and this is why we live in such a backward society. Peace, God. Peace, God. It's designed by the 10% to put the wisdom before knowledge to keep us misled and confused, which is why us as the true and living must always do the knowledge to get and share a proper understanding. Peace. I agree. I agree. Yes, Nanzala, it's pretty much yes, yes. That's also another reason that made me like, if I had a really crowded classroom at the hours I was teaching before, I wouldn't have changed it, even though it's very difficult for me, you know. But it has been even less, you know what I'm saying? So Okay, 793rd. Out of the blue, you said, so moving and speaking first without properly processing good order, leading to lack of clarity, or driving blindfolded, hoping not to crash. Okay, did I miss the context of that? Nah, you're not. Because I'm only going to do it when I can. So it'll be before Thursday. You know what I'm saying? It won't be done on the next Thursday. You know what I mean? So it'll probably be done on the weekend. I'll just quickly, like, you know what I'm saying? Just quickly build on it, you know? It'll be archived here. So people could just look at it, study it. And of course, if you write down your questions or you email me, it's not like I'll be saying stuff and you won't be able to build with me. All right. Okay, let me go back because it seems interesting. You said action applied to foundation and primary observation. So moving and speaking first without properly processing in good order, leading to lack of clarity or driving blindfolded, hoping not to crash. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Out the toilet.
Oh, they good. They good.
I know she probably might, right? I know she don't be thinking me.
Yeah. Right, right. The challenge is to look at wisdom knowledge as a positive thing. And I said, how could it be positive? Well, it can be positive if you take it if you take it as a beginning, as the beginning. And that's what I mean when you build in the math. It doesn't necessarily have to be the beginning. Like, let's see, the 31st day, nobody goes, oh, 3 before 1, like the third, right? We realize that we take understanding and add on new knowledge to it, though, right? So if you don't always take it from the very beginning, dawn of time, then you can build a math differently all the time and still be right and exact. You know what I mean? Let me build on this quickly, though. about time management. You know what I'm saying? Me changing the way I'm doing the class and everything is an aspect of time management. But a lot of people ask me about time management and stuff like that, right? One of the reasons people have bad time management is because they don't really look at the time. They don't really gauge how long it takes for certain things. You know what I'm saying? So you have to start getting a gauge before you start time management. You have to get some statistics, some personal statistics. First, you have to figure out and prioritize the things that need to get done. And people prioritize the things that need to get done. And then they say, well, I only eliminated a few things and I'll do these things. But then these things are not timed. In other words, not timed like say, okay, so I'm going to do these 3 things and they'll take this amount of time, right? But they don't know how long it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how long it's going to take, right? So, right? So we talk about time management, right? Yes, I am, Ron Fetty. Yeah, I am. I'm very familiar with the God Saladin and the great things that he's doing. Absolutely. Absolutely. That brother's a builder. Always has been, always will be. You know what I mean? From what I see and know, he continues to build. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, you know what I mean? There's nothing to say about it. But if you're in that area, though, I'd love to have my kids in that cipher. You know what I mean? Especially my little one. You know, if I was up there, the God's builder. You know, and it looks great. You know what I mean? Hopefully, as he has more years of experience doing that, you know, he could share, you know, some of the jewels of how it gets done. You know what I'm saying? We all got to learn from each other, right? But time management. Let's look at this time management thing. Here's some notes. You know what I mean? All right. I want to make it so I have these notes and I can share it with the God later. Now I'm doing this off the cuff though because there was a question that was asked of me yesterday. You know what I mean? And I didn't really have the time to go into it. You know. All right. You're welcome. Well, Malik, what do you think? What do you think? Technically, he's already expired and still we're in this bullshit. So you've answered your own question, haven't you, Malik? Right? We're still in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, expiration doesn't necessarily mean rule because rule is only something that can happen by consent of the individual. Okay? Right? And our people have not taken control of their lives yet. So, in this time management, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to work to prioritize, right? Prioritize all of the necessary, okay? And then you're going to find out that there is a necessary, right, and a desired that clash, okay? Why is that happening? Why is there a clash between the necessary and the desired, right? I'm going to tell you why. When there's a clash between the necessary and the desired because a lot of the desired are the things that must be done for the future that you will have, right? So you could be doing very well right now, but you're not really there yet. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about needs and wants, right? This is what we're talking about, right, Rome? Needs and wants, but some of the things that you want, some of the things that you need are actually just wants right now. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any possibility of being done. So this ordering of everything, right, has to take into account the concept, right, where you take the needs that have to get done and then you prioritize with the way that it must be done in the future. Okay, so certain things are being done correctly now, but let's say if you're not in shape or whatnot, these are things that have to be prioritized, even though they aren't necessary. Why do I say they're not necessary? Because you're doing just fine without them. You're succeeding without them. You know what I mean? Just like I'm succeeding with this dirty ass laptop.
Sorry, may I interject? I need some counsel.
Yeah, again.
I heard music in the streets, so I went outside. They were playing samba music. But as I got closer, I realized that the people playing the instruments were extremely pale. And I knew it was going to go wrong right then and there.
Well, you didn't do that.
I know, I just laughed out loud.
Okay.
Like, ah! Like that. Because you see a bunch of white people playing African instruments, you know what's going on.
In Harlem.
In Harlem, samba. They're playing Afro-Brazilian music.
Right. I know samba,
white
yeah.
people in Harlem, in African Square.
They weren't light-skinned Latinos?
So there was a couple of them in there. But not only were they Caucasian, but they were fine, upstanding citizens of Sodom and Gomorrah.
I don't have to say that.
So I'm like, okay. I mean, it was already wrong in the beginning, but then I saw there's a couple of people. You saw a couple of Amaru Khans wriggle in there, like I saw one who was like Masola, corn oil, before they removed her off the box. After they pimped her, they done with her, we don't pimp this we don't pimp this Indian maiden for long enough.
Yeah.
Let's put this
How was the cipher going though? Was it? Were people feeling it? Like,
I mean, the samba music, but when you see it, it just didn't register. It doesn't compute.
Yeah, that seems real jarring to me.
Yes, it's jarring to me because the sound is authentic, but when you look at the sound and you got motherfuckers look like they came from the Halloween parade, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's the lead up to the Halloween parade. Maybe they'll be playing samba at the Halloween parade.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But to me, it's jarring. I want to, Michael Jackson, when I hear, or they don't care about us, and I see the song, and I want to get up and play too. Then I'm like, there's something wrong here. It's like a disconnect. It's like, when a frog speaks with a man's voice or a man speaks with a Tweety Bird voice. It just doesn't connect. That's why little kids laugh at falling because adults aren't supposed to fall. This is hilarious. And that's why certain things, the simple things, unexpected, like a pratfall, is so funny.
Yeah, you just telling me that is weird.
No, but I mean, because I went out there, I wanted to play. I love samba music.
It's Harlem is gentrified, but damn, like that.
Yes, but from the distance, I'm like, damn, you're old. And I've been hanging around an old angry Indian. So he doesn't even like me playing the djembe because too many white people don't touch it. Yeah. He feels that the djembe is soiled because it's like the go-to, I'm getting in touch, with Africa.
Yeah, that is the one.
Yeah, so he doesn't like it. But I mean, I can understand now. Yeah. I mean, just like the way he feels about the drum is how I feel about the eagle. I mean, the eagle's been American and pimped her. She's like walking around. That's why I rolled the hawk because the eagle been pimped too much. We gotta let her retire and recover her feathers. I'm sorry for around with the hawk. Am I going too esoteric with this? It might seem like I'm going one way, but then I drifted off into
No, God.
You're going and it's like, he's doing this next thing.
No.
Next we'll be talking about the Turtle Clan, and the Turtle Clan is the most boring shit in the world. Then he's gonna talk about the Great Law of Peace. Like I want to hear about Hiawatha again. I mean, do we know any other Indians besides Hiawatha? Well, we should know Wilma Mankiller now. She just got a coin, Wilma Mankiller. She was a principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, and her quote that I had on my wall was, "An Indian is an Indian, regardless of the degree of Indian blood or what little government card they do or do not possess." That hung on my wall because that affirmed me. And then when I met Lightfoot, he was like, "That's my chief," and I was like, "Oh, that's my chief too, yeah." It's on my wall. I didn't tell it to him, but in my mind I thought it. Because what? There's no coincidence and coincides when you reside in mind to take mind.
Where's his bond, God? Where's his bond?
The law will manifest and climb.
That's peace, God.
Peace.
All right, let me get back into this time management after the jarring grafted samba episode. All right, you said, all right. This is what I mean by this, though, is that the things that you want in the future have to be prioritized as well. Okay, but they don't have any space in the now. And so this makes things difficult. So the future is often seen as a desire. It is seen as a want, right? So how do we make up for this, right? we start to instill the things that we want to be in the future slowly but surely. So here's the thing. It's real simple, man, because it's willing to be in an endless trial and error. Are you willing to be in an endless trial and error to get to the understanding of real time management? You know what I'm saying? So when you have your time management, one of the first things to do is to actually time all of the necessary activities, right? Then the other measure that you should already have as well, this probably goes first, is the measure of actual free time. Okay. And see, I think that free time sometimes is measured incorrectly as well, because, for example, right, if it takes me a certain amount of time to train, and then I say I have like an hour left, right? An hour and a half left, right? So I have an hour and a half, 30, 30, 30, right? What happens is that people don't do the knowledge that they have to clean up, prepare food, eat food, and also rest. So maybe that other hour and a half, though, what's going to get lost here? You're going to eat quicker, right? You're going to skip rest, and you're going to clean up as fast as you can. So what usually gets lost is the rest, right? And if you're trying to train regularly and make your trainings well, then that little bit of rest. And what I mean by rest, though, is probably just like 20 minutes at the most. Even if you can only get 10 minutes. Yo, I know the God Day Sun sees it, though, because he's a writer and stuff. Sometimes you have to close your eyes for a little bit. Whether it's the computer, whether it's the paper, whatever it is, even if you're reading, because we're obsessed with the things that we're doing. So we'll jump from writing to reading constantly. You know what I'm saying? We're not really taking any breaks. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, you're not seeing things clearly either.
Right. So what happens is that your output is trash.
Yeah. And you're reading words there and in your mind, but they're not on the page.
Right.
And then when you put sponge, you see this lines missing, ideas incomplete. You built something but didn't connect it.
Indeed.
And some of that still gets published. Because even in one of my showcase pieces, I mentioned a second thing, but I didn't mention the first. Said the second one, but I forgot the first.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Because when you're editing, we got the first thing, but you move to the second, did you move to the first?
Right.
So when somebody reads the second one, well, what the fuck's the first?
Yeah.
And that's the type of shit that gets lost when you're editing as you're doing it. You gotta give some time and space.
Yeah. And you see, the traditional work environments don't acknowledge people taking a rest, especially if the rest includes that they have to close their eyes for a couple of minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Try to time everything, take moments for everything, and then trial and error. So you say, listen, I don't want to rest too much. You have to find, let's say resting, right? Let's say the time that you have, you say, well, how much is too rest? How much is little rest, right? So you have to figure out. Then you have to figure out, though, what times are you most effective with certain activities? Indeed. I think this. I think this. You know what I mean? You have to pull out the pen and paper and jot everything down. You know what I'm saying? And everything has to be trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to. You have to find what works. How fast do you get into a groove? And everything is about grooves. You know what I mean? The better you train, the better you read. You know what I mean? Like reading faster, absorbing more. All of these are based on the groove that you get into. So you have to find out like what hours you get into a groove. Like for me, I read best in the early morning and then throughout the day. But throughout the day, I have to write a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, that I want and that I also have to do to survive. So I don't get to. So I have to train myself to try to get some reading later, right? And then also what it really helps is that it charges me, it sparks me to wake up immediately and get into my reading. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like that is really my favorite, stationary activity. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do, there's so much activity that I do. A lot of martial arts, a lot of training. Now that I teach students, that's when I can sit down and stuff. You know what I mean? And really do that. You know what I'm saying? And listen to music that is not hip hop, because I write so much about it. You know what I'm saying? So writing about music too is like a perfume shop. You know what I'm saying? You can't always listen to the same type of music, right? You have to diversify it. So you have your palette remains diverse. You know what I mean? Right? Right. But these, you know what I mean? These measures, we talk about time. Why do we have time? We don't have enough time. We don't have this, right? But if there is no finite measure, then you won't see how infinitely great you can be. Then you won't see, people don't achieve greatness unless there's a finite reality. You know what I'm saying? If How do we express ourselves beautifully with the word? Well, because there's a constriction of letters, right? And then with that constriction of letters, though, then we also have the difficulties of constriction of people's understanding of certain words, not every word. So I have to use new words and creative measures of words in such a way where some of them get by as beauty that might be unknown and will be known soon, or just mixed in with what is known and beautified, right? There's all types of strategies in this. But the limitations of things, I don't want you to get upset about the limitations of time. You know what I'm saying? Because they will expand them, they will make you stronger. You've got to see the time more so as a part of the exercise, part of the hell that allows you to come out right. The proper hell is not something that's forced upon you, it's something that manifests. And remember, time is stretched out by the way you build with it. People always say, oh, when you're having a good time, time flies. But also, don't think not that when you're really, really building, time will go the way you need it to go. It may not rush even when you're doing good. It will go exactly as you do. The more that you perfect your skill, the more that you're able to gauge. So all of this is important in time management. But how do we prioritize? You know what I mean? How do we take advantage of things? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times is you make your plan, though, and you could do it with as little thinking as possible. Okay? You dive right into it. You don't think like, oh, I'm not ready. I don't know if I can start this training. I don't know if I could pick that weight up. I don't know if I can start running now. I need more of a break. Maybe I need to rest a little bit more. If you have that clock in your head, you'll be able to burst through things. If you have that clock in your head and you say, listen, this is what I want to take time to enjoy reading, then you really dig into it and take advantage of the time. You know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is that if you enjoy it so much, though, then you'll be able to free up even more time. You see? Right? Also, too, time management is also in how you maximize the way you sleep. Okay? Go to bed. If you have the opportunity, you go to bed when you're sleepy, not when the clock says only. Okay? Take your rest when you can. Have a gauge of your body. If you have the opportunity to go to bed early, you go to bed early. Okay? You set up things to be able to sleep well. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that we do are also ruining our sleep. You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching if you're watching Netflix on your phone before you go to sleep, I'm telling you, I'm just saying myself, I've had worse nights watching things than if I just read and then put it down when I can't really read, when my speed decreases. It's a very easy gauge. And then I've always play some music. You know what I mean? And just sitting and listening to the music and thinking about the music and letting go is how I go to sleep. There has to be ways that you study sleep and learn how to let go. You know what I mean? Right? And just like letting go, when it's time to wake up, that's also a way of letting go. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn to let go actively. You know what I mean? So it's funny, we're the gods, but like when you fall asleep, it's because you let go and you allow it to happen. When you wake up, it's because what you promote it to happen. So one is in a yin manner and one is in a yang manner. You know what I mean? I don't know if all these things are helping. You know what I mean? But these are the ways that I get into it, though. You know, if you write your history in advance, you literally say things. This is the time that I have. I'm going to start at this time. All right. So, like, I already know. I already know what time I'm going to start my training tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I already know how I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Right? I already know how that's going to go.
You can't.
Right?
You can't trust it.
Not here, God. Self I build, you were doing announce. Yeah. You know, and it's a right? Like when you have children, right? You're in their time though, what they want to do. And I'm only dealing with the kids. Don't blame me. You know what I'm saying. When it's time to do something that needs to get done, even when they're there, you let them know. You let them know why they have to do it, or you do it. You know what I'm saying? Or you do it when they're asleep. You know what I'm saying? But that's always difficult. You know what I'm saying? My oldest is 8, so you know she's already on the level where, like, you know, she knows there's a lot of things that I got to do. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, like, you know, she really assure, you know, I really just assure that this is what I'm gonna do. And with your children though, like, keep your word as bond, like make a word as bond with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, listen, I'm gonna need to do this, and I'm gonna do it in this amount of time, or it's not gonna get done. And then we're gonna play. And if it has to get done, you say, listen, this has to get done no matter what. I'm gonna need your help to get it done, or else we won't get to play at all and stuff like that. Sometimes when I make these deals with my children, you know, my oldest when she was young, and my youngest now, you know, they get with that. They get with that. You know. All right, give me a moment. Peace, yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Ah. All right. 7930, you said I see and be that when applying that wisdom to specific personal loving examples, how I saw and felt the work out in different ways over the decade. Okay. Yeah. Why do you said today's math is wisdom, knowledge, or being born to understanding the proper ways of continual elevation to look, listen, and observe, as well as respect what you see, whether alike or unalike, to be your best, using that said ability to attract. Jarrell, you okay, we're using okay, understand the proper ways of continual elevation. The proper ways of continual elevation to look, listen, observe, respect what you see, weather. Okay, spell weather was in precipitation, not weather. WHETR. Like, unlike to be your best, using this said ability to attract. Got you 793. Living. Okay. Jarrell, you said good build, wise you. Today's math is wisdom, knowledge, or being born to understand. I see this as being the realization of one's own awareness. Interesting. Bringing into existence that which is truly accurate to a verifiable perception, seen through the discernment of implementation. So, Jarrell, like, wisdom then is the realization? I don't, or did you just build on it backwards, where realization is the understanding? Explain that. Where's the math in there? Where's the math in there? Just show me where the math is in there. I'm a little thrown by it. Ahmad Gilchrist. Okay, peace. Right now, there's no students here, so it'll probably ended early at the God hour. Okay, and I'll probably take a plus lesson that I taught already, or something that I haven't taught already. It depends what it is, and make a special build out of it. That way, it's isolated. You know what I'm saying? 7, you said used to BS, procrastinate, lollygag, and now more officially move through the workout, add on, get more productive overall due to it. Just adding on and giving personal exam based on you. That's peace. Yeah, definitely. Whoa, Kevin Spencer Jr. You said peace, elder God. Boy, how young are you? No, that's peace, though. That's peace. I'm just messing with you. Ahmad Gilchrist, you said I born this science today. Got out of Allah's supreme alphabet. Why you killing your brother? Okay, you'll have to explain that. Jarrell, the answer I was waiting for. Kevin Spencer, how old are you? You, what is that supposed to? Ahmad Gilchrist, you were confusing me. I don't know what that is. Okay. Kevin Spencer, how old do you think I am, though? Like, maybe I'm light years older than you. the Yakub. Okay, so what brought that along that you had to spell it in the alphabet? Like, what's the reason? You know what I'm saying? Just because you spell it in some way and make an acronym doesn't mean that it's correct. It's correct. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or useful. So I want to know the usefulness of that. Jarrell, you said realization is wisdom. Interesting. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Because the perception is not really mathematics. Perception, you see, I think you got to work on that. I can't really agree with that. Realization plus awareness. No, I think perception is where I'm getting thrown off here, but it definitely cannot be perception because it has to be perspective. Because perspective could be right or wrong. I don't think it could be realization though. I think realization is in the understanding, you know? I don't think it's in wisdom. I think wisdom is in the use of things, the experience of things. And it sounds limiting, but remember, these numbers are taking things apart. Light visible, I would not put self-realization with born. You know, because born is when something is fulfilled, but not necessarily realized. Because remember, we pass God. So you're telling me that you're not realized, self-realization does not happen at 7? Right? So that would be a problem too. Okay, that would be a problem too. Jarrell, you said when observing differences between westernized cultures and indigenous nations, one can see contrast between doing and being. Yeah, definitely. I see the add-ons. I just think the word choices are off. Albert Alamo, you said knowledge is the foundation of all things existence. In that very classroom, I was taught you never put the wisdom before knowledge because that would lead to a misunderstanding. And Alberto, see, that's the challenge here. That's the challenge here. The lesson is that we don't put the wisdom before the knowledge, right? But what if it already is? Today's the 21st. So this day doesn't exist at all? Just like let it go. It doesn't exist, right? The truth is that mathematics can be seen negatively or positively. You know what I'm saying? All of the experiences that you have, right, allow you to encounter new knowledge. And that process brings new understanding. So wisdom knowledge is happening. You're born as a physical being, though, and having to act in a world that you don't really understand. That's wisdom knowledge too. Universe, right? Knowledge Allah. You said so. Wisdom is supposed to be fluid so that knowledge can travel in a way that's relatable to the people. Do you think there's a lack of that keeps the school empty, or is it for other reasons? Nah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to criticize people or anything like that, or say like, oh no, you know. I sit here in the classroom. I think that me sitting here affects who comes in and who doesn't on many levels. If people, I can turn away. I can turn my knowing that I am here may turns away people just as much as it might bring people here. However, if this knowledge was really true, it has to go. It would naturally go through cycles where most people weren't really vying to get it. You know what I'm saying? Look at it. When knowledge was most needed, knowledge is most needed in moments of fear. And almost nobody clamored to get knowledge. In fact, everyone that has tried to get knowledge in this COVID time, especially in this vaccine time, and say that's not the answer, has been seen as crazy, as a conspiratorialist, right? And people have accepted that, right? Right. And so many of the revelations of frustration that we see are things that I have seen my entire half of my life, you know, with this knowledge. Nah, Kevin Spencer, I'm about to be 46 in a few months. December, I'm going to be 46. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. I don't know if I called my. Yeah, you know, I don't mind. I'm the older guy. You know what I mean? I just know so many older gods that I don't, you know what I mean? Kind of in the middle there. I don't know. I'm very mid right there. I mean, it's really me, just me and Darkim. I think a lot of it has to do with that we don't have open programs, or we don't have a place for kids to come. And I don't think that's all our fault. I think that's the way of the times, especially with these mandates and stuff. If we had a lot of children in here, who's to say, like real children, I don't mean like older people, 20s or even late teens, but children, I think that would put us, you never know, because, you know, with all the mandates, especially in New York, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who would try to clamp or something like that on some bull. But, but honestly, I just think that, you know, these teachings are not in popular culture. And no matter what people like to think, there is a difference when I say things like I write about hip hop music and I cover it. I'm not covering a popular culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't cover its remnant. I cover the actual music. So I don't cover the pop reality of it, the pop world of it. You know what I mean? And our teachings aren't in the pop world. You know, technically they weren't. You know, they were for a while when they took the cultures that we made, like hip hop, and put it out there. But they have changed it so much, though, that it's no longer in there. But it's very much vibrant in everything else. You know what I mean? It's just that people aren't as proactive. You know, I think as the time in the time this knowledge has been around for about half a century, the way we teach it, I really think that people see it as trivia, and so things that to know about, and so they make it trivial. I mean, you know what I mean? That's peace, light, visible. That's why we're discoursing here, okay? That's great, Drill. That's great that you're finding out. You know what I'm saying? What's difficult? Wisdom is he or her ways and actions being applied or internalized when you live allows mathematics. All right, let me give you an explosion here. Okay, let me explode this. We're talking about wisdom, knowledge, and I'm trying to see the positivity. Have you see the positivity in it in a positive way? My born day is on wisdom knowledge, the wisdom knowledge day of December. You know what I mean? So, okay. And again, Ahmad, that's peace. Let's not do this though. This is something that is a theme today. The founder of Unlike Attract, Unlike Repel, it didn't say he was evil. There's no degree that says he was evil. So I don't know where people get that from. You know what I'm saying? The more you learn degrees, he had to do what he had to do. You know? Right? It had terrible consequences. We don't know for a fact if he understood the ramifications of what he had just done, how much concentrated violence we would have, how much concentrated destruction. And what I mean by concentrated destruction is that it's really 6,000 years, which is really just less than a quarter of us of the Quran. 6,000 out of 25,000. It's less than a quarter. Almost a quarter, but less than a quarter. You know what I mean? So that's intriguing. That is very intriguing to me. You know? Right. So I was born on the Wisdom Knowledge Day of December. You know what I mean? So I don't see wisdom knowledge as negative. I see wisdom knowledge as a lesson of negativity. I also see it as a lesson in positivity. You know what I'm saying? I've always been here. So the wisdom that surrounds me, right? The experiences that surround me, the experiences that I tap into when I read others' insights, that's wisdom knowledge. You see what I'm saying? I take the wisdom of others and I extract the knowledge and I get an understanding. Reading is wisdom knowledge in many respects. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not painting Yaqub as a good guy, Ahmad. Right? What I'm trying to say is that if he didn't do what he did, right? How do you know that his sacrifice wasn't to say there's devilishment by us having separation in the mind, and I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to make an unalike though that's going to extract that devilishment, and so we could see it and deal with it. I'm going to take the problem right out of us, so and put it right there, so we could deal with it as quickly as possible. That doesn't sound as evil, although now it sounds naive, sounds crazy. But there's absolutely no way you could read the Wisdom Build degree and say he's not crazy. What Yaqub did wasn't crazy. But when we look at times nowadays, though, we're killing and the destruction of people and the population control of people is an active mandate where they feel justified in doing it. They don't think not, though. Like when we talk about the grafted man is the devil, right? And you see these grafted men, these white men, Bill Gates, that's the devil. Like Bill Gates is inside the wisdom degree in the 1 to 10. That's an actual fact. He is right in there. Look, snapshot. But they don't go to bed thinking that they're devils. Do not think for 1 minute that they see themselves as evil. Because they see themselves as making a better world because they have what? The power to make a better world. That they think is going to be made. We only know that Yaqub might have been right in his actions because we needed to see the conflict between each other, black, brown, yellow. Would we see that if he didn't do what he did? That it wasn't right and exact. You know what I mean? You have lots of gods, though, that we take the idea of Yaqub and we're not developing an idealism. You know how idealistic he had to be to make that? And yet we have no idealism. You know what I mean? I see gods go like this. Well, in the real world, black and brown don't really have any unity. You know what I'm saying? And so it paints people like me as anomalies. It paints people like me as anomalies. You know what I mean? But trust, there's hundreds of brothers like me. Even if you only see me, it's hundreds. And because of the things that you do, there will be others that will say, listen, well, Sunez did that. Alberto did that. Ahmad did that. They were able to go in there and do that with all the assumptions that people have. You know what I mean? So what I want us is not have perspectives of bad versus good. You see how it impairs us? Good and bad. I want you to have right and wrong, not good or bad. That was the whole point of the Father saying we're neither pro-black nor anti-white. We're pro-righteousness and anti-devilishment. Yes, the Father was pro-black, like he loved black people. He's doing things for black people. You know what I'm saying? But when you're pro-black, you have their definition of what it is. When he expands, it says those brown are also original and those yellow are also original. They're all black people. That's his way of being pro-black because he made the cipher bigger. His pro-black was to put more black. All the black. But it also wasn't to get lost in what's good or evil, good or bad, and perceptions like that. Right? Do you realize that if Trump was president, right? And it's interesting though, these vaccine mandates and the coercion and the forcing of vaccines that have killed more people than any vaccine in the history of man. They wouldn't have come across. They wouldn't have come across. You know what I mean? As easily. You know, if it was different. So now somebody can't be anti-vax or else they're right wing. See how stupid that sounds? Somebody can't be pro-truth, because then it'll put him in the side of something else. Right? Indeed, self I build. He says, I am mindful to step in the ciphers with an open mind, because the more I study and interact with other people, cultures, I strive to find commonalities. It fosters understanding instead of division. That's right. That's right. Also, you know, if we're traveling a world filled with enemies, don't go labeling them before they actually get labeled. What you'll do is you'll mislabel it. You know what I mean? Right? All right. I'm at the bottom. I'm gonna get out soon. I see that in mind. Yeah, that's tough right there. That's tough. You know what I mean?
Seriously, just take my picture of the lesson.
Indeed. All right, so we have only a few minutes left, though. Okay. Let me know your builds. Let me know. Also, too, the assignment. I give assignments. Y'all don't do it. I would like to, I'll say the assignment again, for those of you that are regularly learning from me online, to detail that in some kind of essay, whatever length, and this online experience, what makes it of value, what makes it worthy, because most don't see it worthy. And what are the things that you think make it worthy and what you expect out of it, right? I see that in my ultra black, right? Like Nas, ultra black.
I actually like that song.
Yeah, that's a dope song.
He's been putting out some good material. I think his beat selection has improved dramatically.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, I mean, Well, we have to go. Why don't we do that at one of the God Hour shows on Saturdays here at the law school at 7 p.m. You can come through and you can talk hip hop on a level.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm gonna tell you about my assessment of Eminem now. Yeah, I have a newfound respect for him, and I think that even you are gonna have to surrender to this.
as a person or as an artist, though.
No, the fact that Eminem dedicated his last album to See I Kill. Did you know that? Did you know that?
No,
I didn't know that, and I just found out. Eminem dedicated his album to Juice WRLD and See I Kill.
Wow.
Eminem, M dedicated his album to See I Kill. And I just found that shit out. Maybe because I was too busy recovering from my own fucking near death.
All right, I'm gonna look this up on Discogs. I see the credits of this shit.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. And I'm a journalist.
Well, let me tell you something though. I had told this on the air when on my own show that I don't like his music. I don't think it relates.
He
to
got props. I don't care. I liked him before. I like him even now. Then he dedicated out.
You know what I mean? It's never going to be my flow, but the things that he's done as far as putting people on and stuff like that, you know, I could respect that.
All right, I want to say this.
Do you know which is it? The Music to Be Murdered By?
Yeah.
Okay, because they
Music to Be Murdered By.
All right, I'm not going to see the result here. I just can't.
Yes, you can. Even in the Wikipedia, it'll be there.
No, not the dedications though. They
put it in there. Go down. Keep on going.
Peace.
Peace, God.
Back.
Everything's peace, God.
Peace. You know that Eminem dedicated his album to See I Kill? Eminem, the white rapper, the biggest rapper in the world.
Oh, he did? That's peace.
He dedicated his album to See I Kill.
That's peace.
The last one, Used to Be Murdered By.
That's peace, man.
I just found out. I'm like,
He heard everywhere, God.
God, I'm like, I didn't even know that. It'll say in the Wikipedia what it's dedicated to. They'll mention Juice WRLD and his bodyguard. See, they said that he was with him when he came. That's who he was with when he was overseas. He was with Eminem. And that's why the Alchemist was there. That's Eminem's DJ. Title and cover.
Okay, let's see. There we go. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, he showed love to our brother, man. I can't even.
I only find this because I'm writing about it 2 years later. Because, you know, I ain't have a chance to catch up. And I'm just catching up, and I just found that out. And that blew my fucking mind, God.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I got to give him respect for that. That says a lot, though. Insight is, yeah, but insight is wisdom because it's seen as understanding, God. You know what I mean? We need more distinction. You know what I mean?
Ladies.
Where did that come from? What do you mean?
Ladies.
How about what?
If you're not responding to peace, I don't know for sure if you belong here.
Oh, bro, I'm looking for somebody.
Yeah, but I said please. Then why don't you take me back outside, wait for that person outside, please. Thank you. Wait for the person outside. Thank you. If you don't respond to peace, you don't belong here. Please.
Maybe these things are real. He gets me from outside, goes to peace.
You didn't respond. I said peace. You said walk. I said peace.
Oh, that's peace. Okay, Sun God. Yeah. Okay, Sun God. Sun God, are you on the? If you're on the Facebook, just message me. Message me your number. Don't put it here for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, you know, just as a final thing, that's beautiful, God. That's really beautiful. Because I've seen I build with a lot of people that like Thurston and a lot of people that are peace with Eminem and stuff. And I like what he does with Shady 45. I like the quality of the music. I just find his music corny and I can't really get beyond that. But so it's not something I'm gonna listen to. But that right there is real peace that he did that. You know what I'm saying? That's real peace.
Yes. You know what I just found out? What's that? Eminem dedicated his last album to See I Kill.
I gotta hear that.
And you really good, it's over there right there. That's just people didn't know. You take care of the two squirrels, see I killed. Eminem. And I just tell me that.
All right. Let me give you some information. Okay. We're at the 7 o'clock hour. I don't have students in the building, so I'm going to leave. Okay. So 5, let me get the website where I need writers for this. I'm giving you an assignment to begin. If it's good and you would like it to be published, okay. We need writers though. I can't be an editor if I don't have writers, okay? And the experience that you all are having learning online is important, okay? And it also could set a standard, and that's what I'm hoping, that what you all do sets a standard, you know what I'm saying? So, all right? So with that said, expect an online 1 hour, right? A YouTube online 1 hour build about either one of my plus lessons or something specific, right? To come before next Thursday, okay? For the last hour to fill up this last hour, okay? That we won't be here, okay? And that way we get straight information, all right? And I'll do that comfortably from my home, and then I'll continue to work, all right? But I won't say when it's going to be. It's going to be random, so it's there. You can document it. It'll say what the subject is, and that's what it's going to be, all right?
Yo, hey.
All right, so until next week, look for me on that. You can ask questions, all the questions you want while I'm doing that 1 hour lecture. And I will try to answer that at the end of the build, okay? At the end of the build. It's not going to be like an hour-long build and stuff like that. So the interaction, your questions to get more insights about it are going to be important, too, okay? It's not like it's going to be a podcast or anything like that. But it'll be on a specific build. So that way, when you have it labeled, you could go through the classes in YouTube and you can see, well, where's the plus lesson build? They'll be called plus lesson, P.E.A.C.E plus lesson, and it'll be at about a specific build. All right. We may go into other things, but at least when people need that specific build to study, they could go to that particular thing. Okay. And not just get the random, the general stuff that we get here. Right? Peace, God.
Continue.
Yeah. So you get I was gonna say random jewels, but that's Dark Kim's word, so I can't use that word. But but that's what we get, our randomness, you know what I mean?
What's your name?
Okay. Yes. Email me. If you emailed me or you contact me and I didn't answer you, that means I need to be pressed more, not because I'm ignoring you. None of you are unworthy in any way to be ignored. I am very busy. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Okay. And until that build, peace.